Well, Thanksgiving is rapidly approaching, and I was trying to think what we could be thankful for regarding Philadelphia sports, and I'm hard pressed to come up with anything. Maybe during the break, I'll be able to come up with something. Maybe Bobby can have some insights that maybe can change my mind. But Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is on. We'll cover everything and more. We'll be back.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Bobby, I actually have two things that I can say that I'm thankful for right now as a Philadelphia sports fan. Number one, the Eagles record. Number two, it looks like Matvey Michkov might be a star in the making. Other than that, I'm lost. How about you?
We missed the one thing on the Sixers to be thankful for is Jarrett McCain's continued aggressive and rookie of the year play at this point. I mean, it's been totally unexpected and it's been consistent. And he's the only bright spot on the team right now. He's the only reason to turn the game on at this point.
Yo, you're right. And the reason why I missed that is because I'm trying to block everything Sixers out of my mind because everything, all the information is just, you get my point.
They are hard to watch. Very hard to watch. It almost seems like that when they play, the other team is at their A game, their A+ game. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad luck or if they're just bad, but it has not been pretty. The Embiid saga continues, the Crooks process. Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's painful. It's painful, and if I'm sure a lot of you have tuned in over the years. This is our 188th episode. We're only 586 away from The Simpsons at this point.
That's not bad though for that.
Yeah, we're getting there. We wanted him gone 3 years ago when Anthony Davis was on the trading block. It's all recorded. We said it that the Sixers should have moved him to the Pelicans then for Anthony Davis, and I would have been happy with it at this point. I would have thought we got the better of that if we would have done it, and instead they just continue to re-sign him and bring him back. And guess what? He doesn't want to be here. It's obvious in his body language. It's obvious ever since that episode, I think, with Marcus Hayes. I don't think he wants to be here, and I don't think he thinks the fans want him here. And I think it's time to move him, and I'm all for it. And I think it would be the same result as the Ben Simmons trade. I think you'll get a veteran that's maybe going to be here for a year, but Embiid will also vanish into injury. I was going to say infamy, but it'll be injury.
Yeah, you would think a guy like Embiid with his talent, what he has done, what he has the ability to do, would go the opposite way given the Marcus Hayes situation. He'd be like, okay, I'll go out there and prove who I am and what I can do. I mean, my initial thought is, okay, well, hey, just send him to Golden State.
I know, yeah, exactly. I don't care where you send him at this point. I just want him gone. I don't care either. You could send him anywhere he wants to. He could.
I'd like to see him go to Utah or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I don't care. Wherever he wants to go. I don't care what I get back for him. I don't care where he goes. I'd rather have draft picks because then you have a potential of having a star for the next 10, 15 years. I think the team can be rebuilt quick. I don't think it's something that we'd have to sit and lose for years because I think you have a foundation. I know it's not much size. It's McCain and Maxey. They're not the biggest of guys. But then the other issue is you're stuck here with Paul George, a guy that's past his prime, a guy that's frankly going to give you 20 points a game, and that's about it. But he's going to take 20 shots to get it.
He's going to age 5 years every year he's here the way it's
right. That was a mistake.
Well,
we knew that before it happened.
You look at who put this together, and you're right. I don't trust him to move Embiid though, because, like you said, just moving him would be a plus. But if you're getting stuff back and trying to rebuild a team,
but I think it's going to be like Charles Barkley and all over again. I think he's going to demand the trade.
I think so.
He's going to come out and say it, and I think the next month or so, I don't want to be here. Especially if they go to like something like 3-19, which I could see happening.
Oh, easily, I could. You look at the last game. I mean, it was, well, Embiid might play. He might be sick. He might not be. He's going to try and give it a go. I mean, the Heat aren't very good either. I don't know. They were what, 4 for 20 at one point from three last night, and the Sixers had a nice lead. But
then he puts in Jeff Dalton Jr.
He might as well put my neighbor in.
Jeff Dalton Jr. is a guy that's been in the league for 6-7 years, and he's never played more than 5 minutes a game. What makes them think this guy's a second unit player?
Well, did they start the process 2.0 and just not announce it?
That's what I wouldn't be. I'd be okay with it.
I know. You might as well just announce it. I mean,
I mean, if it gets to that point, I mean, this is a nice little draft we have coming up. So, I mean, if it gets to the point where, we're obviously going to be battling for the bottom of the league with Washington and Utah, get rid of him, sit him. I don't care what. I'm over him. I frankly am over the guy. I don't care what happens right now. I mean, he scored 11 points last night. Is he done? Is he finished as a player?
I mean, that was, I mean, you could have stolen money last night because the over under was 24.5. He wasn't getting that.
No.
I just sit here and I'm just amazed that we're at this point.
Yeah, I mean, his comment after the game last night was, "It's unacceptable." You're unacceptable.
Well, I guess Maxey must have spoken up. Some things must have come out and said, "Look."
How did that get out? First of all, how do we know that's what was said in a private meeting?
But okay, that's a whole other issue. But what came out, whether true or not, sounds plausible to me with what's going on with the Sixers.
Yeah, I mean, Terran, thank you. Sixers are super bleh. At least the Eagles.
Everyone who's joined us.
Yeah, we'll get to the Eagles in a minute. I mean,
it seems like, Maxey's going to be back from this hamstring soon.
Yeah,
and he wants to go out there and compete and win. And right now, I mean, Maxey got his money too. So,
right.
Embiid has his.
Yep.
The money Paul George has his. I just look at, like you mentioned, these other guys on this team, from Kyle Lowry to Eric Gordon. Oh my goodness.
They're all just content. They're just collecting paychecks. And the one guy on the team that's not collecting a paycheck and is playing for that big future is Jared McCain.
Yeah.
You can see the difference in the effort he gives versus what the other guys give.
And
they're what? They're 2-11 now, 13 games in. And this big three or so, you call it, not you, but it's, they do. They've played 0 games together.
True. And you can't say it's early because
it's not. It's 1/6 of the way through the season.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, I get it where you got to be in the top 10 in the conference, and then you get yourself into what they have as that little play-in or whatever. But wow, I mean,
they're not going to win the NBA Cup?
Probably not. Probably not.
I actually like the Celtics court tonight. I think that looks cool. It's all green.
I got to look at it. I got to look at it here again. I only caught a little bit of it. Apparently they're going to make sure Cleveland doesn't walk out of there as an undefeated team anymore.
Yeah, but Cleveland's not going to. They don't put any fear in anybody. Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, and they don't. They certainly aren't going to put a fear in Boston, man. I mean, I think Boston's head and shoulders above every team in the East still.
Yep.
And maybe
I think Giannis is going to be moved. To be honest with you,
maybe Embiid could go there.
Yeah,
there you
go. Embiid for Giannis. It might not be a bad. It's not. We might have joked about that a year ago. That's not impossible. It might be malcontent for malcontent.
Yeah,
and if you told the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is going to talk himself out of the town and time for a new stuff. You told them you're going to get Joel Embiid, they might jump for joy.
Well, and he can go back and play for Glenn Rivers. And
there you go.
I thought about having 3 to 4 minute just angry rant about what's going on with the Sixers, but it's not even worth the time anymore to even do that.
You would be giving more effort than they do.
I know, and you look at what they've given us from the process on to what we went through with Ben Simmons and then Markelle Fultz and trading Simmons and bringing in Harden. And then Harden was like, I'm not playing for you anymore because Daryl Morey's a liar. And
that's funny you mentioned Harden. I was thinking about him today. It's like, you don't even hear about him anymore.
There was an interesting game last night. You probably didn't watch it, where the Clippers ended up beating the Golden State Warriors. And Harden is just, to me, it looks like he's just content as well. I mean, he's playing well, but he has guys around him where he can make them better. And for what they are now, and treading water without Kawhi Leonard, I mean, he's a part of it. But
Yeah.
you think about when he was traded out there, there's no one left on the Sixers from that trade, is there?
What, from the Clippers trade?
Yeah.
I think KJ Martin.
Okay. There's nobody left on the Sixers. No,
Right.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, because you look at Nico Batum's back out there, and
Yeah, they got nothing for him.
Covington's. I guess is he on the team or is he hurt?
Who knows? I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
He's in the back of a milk carton.
I know. It was like, well, he's having some knee problems. That was like a year ago, and then he's never been heard from again. typical Philadelphia. I mean, I saw a stat on social media, and I think I didn't look into it, but in the last 7 games, Kyle Lowry has made 6 shots.
And he just looks horrible doing it. I mean,
And I was like, 6 seems high.
yeah, he's just him and Jackson and Gordon. Why? Why are they here? It's like they give you nothing. No energy, no defense. They probably couldn't believe they got signed. They're like, wow, you're going to give me money to play? Okay.
I guess that's why they were available.
Yeah, they almost give you as much effort as Mike Tyson did against Jake Paul on Friday night.
Now, if you want to talk about something that I thought was just horrible, I get it. Okay, he's 58, and you can hype up things or whatever, but you're Mike Tyson. You would think at some point you would try to put a combination together at least.
Well, I watched the breakdown of it. They're saying every time he had Paul in trouble, he backed off. And anytime he had an opening, he didn't take it. It's almost like he was paid off to make sure Paul won.
And it did get the audience that it wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any problems with Netflix or not.
Well, anytime it froze, I just went back to the front screen and put it back on. It worked fine.
It seemed to work better on the app than it did coming through. I guess it's all an app, but
I had it on a Roku and it worked. Yeah, it worked okay.
Okay. Yeah, and
that's the first time ever both of my shoulders were in the screen here.
Very good.
I think I'm sitting in the right position for once.
Well, it only took like what 2 months or so or whatever to we're trying to get there. It's that whole thing that bothers me because of my love of basketball and the desire to want to see good 76ers.
I know.
And
it's horrible, isn't it? That you can't put a team game on and enjoy it. They play it's not an enjoyable brand of basketball.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I don't know when they play next or who they play next.
They play tomorrow night against the Nets.
Oh boy.
I think, right? Don't they?
As
I said it, I think they might play the Grizzlies first, then the Nets. I know in my mind the next possible win is against the Nets. Let me see.
The Nets haven't been playing all that bad either. I mean, so it's not
I'm
a guarantee.
Sorry. That's the 22nd, which is
Friday.
They play in Memphis tomorrow night, so that's another loss.
Oh, easily another loss. I mean, probably, and John Moran will probably be back for that one tomorrow.
Everybody comes back when they see the Sixers come to town.
Well, if not, they got enough players on Memphis to. Well, and Embiid will probably be out too. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you don't want him to have to play more than one game a week. Yeah, I think you're right though. I think the issue. I think like we could discuss right, wrong, or indifferent about what went on with Marcus Hayes. I just think it was more. Now looking back, it kind of like pushed things over the top that were kind of bubbling up underneath, and I really didn't see them that way in Embiid.
I mean, look, I hear a lot of blame was put on the Olympics.
Yeah,
that was months ago. How could that affect anything you do today? What did you do 6 months? What was it? Was it 6 months ago? Am I right? Was it 5 months ago? 4 months ago?
Yeah, it was at the end of July. So yeah,
if I banged my elbow at the end of July, it doesn't still hurt me today. I mean, I don't understand.
Well, we talked about this too. I mean, it wasn't like they played every night for a month.
No,
grinding. It wasn't like grinding games, you know.
what they play 5 games.
Maybe.
What do you play? He played about what 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, I mean it's not that it's not too difficult to go out there and and you don't have to put all your energy into like beating Yemen. I don't think they played Yemen.
I know.
I mean, they probably could have won that whether they had Embiid or not. Instead of him feeding off of that and saying, "Okay, here's what it's like to win a championship. I'm going to bring one to the city that's backed me from day one." He's like, forget this. There's something wrong with this city.
Yeah.
Look, I've done all this for this city, and you're turning on. You're kind of making it sound like the city's turning on you.
I think he goes on. I think he reads comments on social media,
and
I think he lets it bother him too.
Okay, well, I just keep thinking. Okay, well, you're making multi-generational money. Who cares?
I know. But at the same time, you should want to have a legacy. You should want to be a champion. You should want to be remembered as a champion.
Yeah, and I was about to say, well, if you have an issue concerning the city of Philadelphia turning on you, I was going to say, well, the city will do that, but I don't know anymore. I'm not sure. I mean,
it's going to get to that point. Let him have an 11-point game at home.
It's not like, how do I put this? You go back late 80s, early 90s, and all mid 80s. I mean, this would not have been tolerated at all from the fans. And
no. I don't think he's ever been booed.
No, not really. No, I don't think so. I mean, and you look at somebody like Daryl Morey, and then you look at Josh Harris, who's the owner. I think I'm safe in saying this. I mean, all they care about is when there's a home game, there's an ass every 18 inches. That's all they really care.
I'm just gonna say that. I mean, if he goes, I mean, you're gonna feel it at the box office, no doubt about it.
Right.
But you have to be willing to take that chance. I mean, you have to be willing to lose in order to win. I don't think there's ever been a team that hasn't lost before they won a championship.
And that was supposed to be the purpose of the process. And
right.
You mentioned Giannis. I can look up here now. That court is probably one of the better courts for the in-season tournament. I agree with you. Those colors aren't bad. But you look now you look at Tatum, you look at Giannis, you look at Jokic. I mean, they've won. All these guys have won.
I mean, yeah, you said there's 3. I could be wrong because they're not high draft picks. So the Denver Nuggets did win a championship without being horrible. I'll admit that. They were mediocre for a couple of years. So that's a bad example. And the Celtics didn't. The Celtics got 2 top 5 picks. That's how they won the championship. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were top 5s.
Well, and before Giannis, Milwaukee was an after.
Well, Giannis was an obscure. Nobody knew who he was. He was like the 11th pick.
Yeah,
wasn't he? Right. Yeah, so I mean, I want to say they got lucky. They got lucky with him, and they really did. Well, like the Sixers got lucky with Tyrese Maxey.
Look where Jokic was picked.
Yeah, he was 2nd round, right?
Yeah.
So
Giannis Antetokounmpo draft slot. We'll see if it comes up here.
I know it's between 10 and 20.
15th overall.
Yes, there you go. Right in between.
And the thing that's frustrating, because and you could really go on a good rant with this. Embiid should have been and would have been, I believe, the first pick in that draft if there wasn't the injury question.
Yeah. How about that? How about the irony of it? The injury caused him to be a Sixer.
And the teams, the 2 teams drafting ahead didn't want to draft somebody and wait. They wanted to get on with it, and the Sixers were like, look, our plan is to wait. So
but if you remember that draft, it was Jabari Parker was the other guy.
True.
He's not even in the league anymore.
No.
And who was it was between Parker, Embiid, and I'll do this. Who was the third guy? There was 3. Let me see.
Yeah,
what year was it? What was it? 2011?
I don't think it was 11.
I was typing Embiid draft class.
Yeah.
It's Andrew Wiggins. So Andrew Wiggins is the other one. Yeah. And Andrew Wiggins became a champion. I know, granted with Steph Curry, but if we had to do that all over again, who would you want? Wiggins, Parker, Dante Exum, or Embiid.
Yeah, of course, you're going to take Embiid.
Yeah.
And what?
But would you? Andrew Wiggins has a championship.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not saying for the Sixers.
Andrew Wiggins is a good role player right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing fine as a role
And
player.
guess what? Every night, Andrew Wiggins is going to be in your lineup.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, he's going to be out there while our guy's going to be a knee,
Well,
his foot,
maybe
his shoulder,
not.
his knee, his elbow, his ankle, his sickness, his stomach.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
How many times have you texted me over the years and beat out? Or I text you and beat out? It's a joke.
I mean, to say he's made of glass now, it
Was made out of glass 5 years ago.
probably weaker than glass at this point. I mean, yeah, and it's just amazing with what the process was supposed to do was get you those draft picks to build you a team that could put together a dynasty. And Markelle Fultz is not in the league. Ben Simmons probably shouldn't be in the league.
Is he gone? Is he done, Fultz?
I don't think he's in the league.
I thought he was in Orlando.
I don't think he is anymore.
That was quick.
Or he's not playing at the moment. I haven't heard a thing
He's
about
only
him.
26.
And some people wanting the Sixers to re-sign him and get rid of some of the people that they have sitting there. Sure, why not?
Hey, he's not played this year. I don't know why.
Yes, I think you said about Brooklyn. I think I looked the last time when Simmons played, he had 0 points, and I saw that clip on social media. He was driving down the middle of the lane, and a defender had to step into the lane. Just stopped.
Hey, get the back out.
number one overall pick at one point, and just.
Man, I watched 2 possessions last night of the Sixers game where Dalton just he dribbled up the court and he just threw the ball right to the other team.
Well, did you see some of that little bit that some people put together on social media where Drummond was getting rebounds? Dalton was right there to get the pass to take the ball up, and Drummond just dribbled it up himself. I'm not giving it to you, but
yeah,
it's.
Hey, I looked at his career statistics. I mean, the guy's never played for anybody. He's been a bench warmer. He's been a bottom of the team, a end of the bench guy.
At some point, you're going to just have to start questioning Nick Nurse. I mean,
yeah. I mean, what do you do with putting him out there? Is he telling ownership this is all I have?
Yeah, maybe, or he's telling Daryl Morey that because just got to shake your head. Well, like I said, the other positive thing was the fact the Eagles are 8-2.
They sure are. Yes, and it's a better 8-2 than the 10-1.
It is, but is that 8-2 going to turn quickly into maybe an 8-5, 9-5?
I don't know. I mean, I was 50-50 on this week. I mean, I know I kind of called an Eagles victory, but I'll take it. I mean, that's big. That's huge because I thought if you went 2-1 in this 3-game stretch, you'd be good. And it looks like they probably will.
So you think they'll win Sunday night and beating?
The Rams are so hard to handicap because they could look great one week and then the next week they can't score. I mean, either way you look at it, they have 2 really good receivers with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's a threat right off the bat. I mean,
and the defense of the Eagles has been playing better.
Quinyon Mitchell's, I say it every week, he's a superstar. I mean, he takes your best player right out of the game. Terry McLaurin was a non-existent on Thursday night.
No, you're right. And this past Thursday, they went into the fourth quarter losing 10-6, and before you could blink, the game was over in favor of the Eagles, which was something that was great to see. And I don't know anymore. It's not going to go away. It's not going to change. Thursday night football, I don't think you can tell one way or the other with certain teams playing on Thursday night football because it's just such a short week.
Yeah, and it helps being home.
Right. And I was thinking that was going to be the Eagles' excuse if they happened to lose this one. But like I said, as soon as that fourth quarter started, it helps having Saquon Barkley. I mean,
that's exactly right. I mean, their offensive line just wore them down. By the time the fourth quarter came, the Washington he looked fresh and they didn't. I mean, he was untouched on that 31-yard
I think I messaged you at one point and said, "Well, we said Kenneth Gainwell hasn't really done anything, and then in this game he was able to step up because of the way the Eagles line.
He was shot out of a cannon. He looked like he was playing at a different speed.
I know it looks like he's faster than Barkley.
I know he does,
and
he might be. So it's great. I mean, I think if you go rest of the year, they have 7 games left. Even if you go 3-4, I mean, which they could easily do, you're going to have 11 wins.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see then what goes on once the playoffs hit. I don't think we're going to see this, but when you look at it now, Eagles-Lions NFC Championship game, I think the NFL would like to see that. And obviously, it's going to be in Detroit.
That would be so hard to predict. I mean, at first glance, you look at the game and you think shootout.
Yeah, true.
If you break it down, I don't know. They have a really good team. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's out, which helps, but they're aggressive, and I mean, they'll do anything to win. And I think we our defense is so good. I mean, if you get them on turf, it's going to be tough. You get them here, I think we can beat them.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying to stay healthy. It's funny.
It's not guaranteed that it would be in Detroit. I mean,
no, you're right. It's not. I'm just saying right now. If I had to guess, that's
who knows. Jared Goff could, be out for the year after anything can happen. It's football, but yeah, right now they're putting up points like it's nothing. I mean, 52-6 they won this week.
Plus, if you get the Lions in an NFC Championship game, the narrative is going to be, well, the Lions have never been in the Super Bowl.
But I think we're being a little quick putting the Eagles in the championship game, though. I mean,
well, no. What I said was I agree with you. I think the NFL would like that. There is a possibility.
I did a breakdown at work today. I only see about 5 or 6 teams that have a chance to be in the Super Bowl. It's just in my eyes, it's the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and Eagles, Lions. I don't know who else in the NFC would scare you. Maybe the 49ers if they get their act together. Right now, they're in last place.
Yeah, they are. Green Bay, Minnesota. Oh,
exactly.
Tampa, no. I mean, they're not.
Right. What do you mean Tampa? No. we played Tampa. We better run for.
But what I'm saying is, if you look at Tampa's record, I don't see them right. If Eagles got to play Tampa, well, yeah, you can pack.
Good night.
Good night is right.
I do have one sleeper.
AFC or NFC?
AFC.
That's the Broncos. I know you.
Yeah.
Because they play defense.
They play defense, and they're also scoring. They put up 38 points. I mean, Bo Nix is playing. He's playing like a seasoned quarterback. I mean, I don't know. Could they have? They had Kansas City beat. So they could. I mean, if they make the playoffs, they're dangerous.
Kansas City seems to be a team they're
beatable.
Yeah, that's what they look like the Eagles of last year, where they've won some games, like you said. That they had no business winning the Denver game. How many times are you going to block a field goal in a season? 1, 2?
Yeah, and the whole side of the line collapsed in that play. I mean, there are people suggesting that was fixed, but what would be the point of that being fixed? That wouldn't make any sense to fix that game.
Because I don't think many people would have been putting money on
Denver. Exactly. And they already covered at that point.
Yeah,
they already covered the spread, even if they make the field goals. I don't think people are putting money lines on Denver. All the money line bets are on the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you look at it, like you said, you might be seeing a Chiefs team that's not going to be in the Super Bowl. So then you got Buffalo, Baltimore. I don't know, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're a good defensive team.
Maybe they
really shut Baltimore down this weekend.
Yeah, pedigree. They got the coach. I don't know. I mean, they don't have the quarterback though. I don't think. Yeah, I think that's the point. And from looking at social media and everything, people talking, pundits and things, Pittsburgh really hasn't been mentioned that much. Hey, the Chargers aren't a bad team either. They don't have the defense, I think, to go forward. But
yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert just does not get any respect at all. The guy's, I think he's a top 10 quarterback easily.
They should have lost. They should have lost Sunday night. I mean,
Well, they should have won too. They were up 27-6.
true. That's true too. It's becoming an issue now with field goal kicking. It used to be automatic, and now it's becoming a problem. I mean, even with Elliott.
The way they kick these long there has to be. I want to see a study or a documentary on how these guys are kicking this football 56 yards with ease. Like Brandon, did you see the kick by Aubrey last night?
Yeah.
He just tapped it and it went 56 yards.
I mean, it just.
He could kick a 70-yarder, that guy.
Well, and the amazing thing is, you see this stat that Elliott hasn't made one over 50 yards this year, and you're just like stunned by that because.
Yeah, I know. Of course, the Eagles are behind, and they don't have a super kicker like all these other teams.
And you'd think it would be automatic, but
I wonder if there's like some kicking guru out there that these guys. You don't hear anything about kickers. Like I wonder if there's this guy like a center, like a kicking center, they all go to, and they do certain stretches and work out their legs certain ways. There's got to be something. It's got to either be in the shoes, the ball. Humans don't evolve that quickly. Where I think 20 years ago, there wasn't one kick the whole season made from 56. Now this season, there's been over 30 of them.
My thing would probably be more people as they come through high school, college, and are focusing on kicking. I think maybe the issue is with the ball. It was interesting. I guess I didn't realize it, but I probably should have. That Cameron Dicker was on the Chargers. I mean, he was an Eagle for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, he filled in for Elliott. They should have just kept him.
They should have. But you didn't think Elliott would turn this way. I've always had that like in the back of my mind, the two things that can ruin sports for you: kickers and closers.
Yeah.
They seem to go hand in hand.
You think maybe the kickers are better athletes nowadays? Like
I do.
Years ago, they were like a little short guy that was like a soccer player that they made a kicker. Now, they're more athletic and bigger.
Like the Martin Grammaticas.
Yeah, right.
Is he the guy that hurt himself celebrating the one time?
Yeah, and his brother Bill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eagles had Luis Zendejas. His brother played also for the Cardinals. Martin Zendejas, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess so. And it's funny because everybody was getting on Sirianni there for a while for not taking the points when needed to kick those field goals. Maybe he knew something.
Yeah.
It was just funny to me to see Elliott kick the ball, and the 3 that he missed were the exact same miss. It's like, well, if you know you're pushing the ball left,
move over.
You either move over or just adjust your kick a little bit. I mean, you can go work on that on the sideline. And that was always the thing too. Somebody, and maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it, but somebody should take one of these kickers. You take Dicker or something, and what you're gonna make a documentary and follow him around all season.
I'd love to see it.
What does he do all week?
Kicks the ball.
I mean, I don't know. I guess. I mean,
over and over again.
it's like but at some point you either have it, or you don't. And yeah. It's interesting.
But it's just crazy how 20 years ago no one can do it, and now everyone can do it. It's just something's up.
The guy for Dallas missed a few last night.
He slipped.
But didn't he kick one like for 65 this year or last year or something like that?
Yeah.
Which, it just, hey, sure, why not?
The one he missed last night, the 40-yarder, he didn't even like step into it. He just like sliced it with his foot. Like he gave it a little half effort. Just tapped it. And it went 40 yards and it hit the upper.
Dallas is in full tank mode. The way they're playing. I mean, I used to always, because being
tank for who though? What are they tanking for? Are they going to take a quarterback?
I don't think so. That was kind of a joke on my point, where they've just gotten themselves to the position now with their injuries and stuff. It just seems like it's tank mode. I always enjoyed the Dallas game on Thanksgiving because Dallas for many years was good. Then you could root against them. Yeah, Dallas and the Giants.
Yeah.
I mean,
DeVito.
Yeah, of course.
DeVito Rush. What were they going to do with Daniel Jones? they gave him the same amount of money that the Eagles gave to Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's just a long contract. What are they going to eat it at this point? I mean,
Oh boy.
it looks that way. You're going to have some good quarterbacks coming out next year with Cam Ward and Jackson Dart.
Being a Giants fan at this point, my goodness, especially seeing what Barkley's doing.
It's like a repeat of last season. It's the same thing. Tommy Cutlet time. I mean, that's what they have to look forward to, a gimmick, a quarterback.
Yeah, and it was, I sit here 52 years old, and like you think back and the Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys, the Eagles. I mean, those were 4 good teams every year. And now
The Eagles were probably the lesser of the teams.
they were, because they I mean, out of all them, the other teams had multiple Super Bowls.
And it was almost like you were more intense as a fan, being like, we got to beat these teams.
Right.
It's the last 20 years or so, it's been different being an Eagles fan. It's almost like you're expected to beat these teams. So it's almost like when you win, it's more of a relief than a satisfaction, so to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you still get that satisfaction beating Dallas,
But you were supposed to beat them. You know what I'm saying? I almost enjoy an underdog story better than I do like I enjoyed when the Phillies went to the World Series a couple years ago because it wasn't expected.
and I'll tell you what you said is a very good point, because as fans, especially being fans of the Eagles, we grew up seeing the Eagles have some good teams. The teams that were better than them were great teams. They were all-time great teteams.
And the Eagles were good, but we knew they had flaws. Like we knew the Randall Cunningham Eagles didn't have a wide receiver or have a running back, but we knew they had a great defense. And that was so cool to watch because you knew you could win any week because of your defense.
And that's what Buddy Ryan was brought there to do. And he was he was a circus within himself.
Yeah.
Which was always fun. And then you had arguably the worst NFL head coach ever. Rich Kotite was there for a while.
Right.
I mean, it just didn't work out for him there. And then of course, in typical Jets fashion, they took him.
Yeah.
And you look at the 2 teams in New York right now. Oh boy.
I know. How about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jet and just making nothing of it, just not even being a threat?
I saw a guy, he posted the parlay he had put together, and I guess this goes. He had everyone a number of picks. I think he had the pick to win the green jacket. He had that right. He had the World Series right. He had I think it was last year's NBA champion right. Last year's college basketball. He had everything right, in the Super Bowl that he had picked as the Jets.
Oh my God.
And he had, like, I think the bet was 200. It was going to pay off 1.2 million.
Wow. He didn't take the cash out prior to the NFL season?
No, he didn't. And the cash out that was there that was posted was like $890. I may have seen this like 2 weeks ago. Well, the Jets aren't winning the Super Bowl.
Preseason?
Oh, no. I could say, I think preseason it probably was more, but he only posted this like 2 weeks ago. I
would have liked to know what the peak was.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, well, this isn't really working out with the Jets.
Nah, they're done. They lost to Anthony Richardson this week.
And there's a situation too. I mean, when you look at it, who quarterbacks the 2 New York teams next year?
Yeah, right. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, you know who's going to be the quarterback for the Eagles. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like the whole game, all you see online is Jalen Hurts sucks. Jalen Hurts sucks. He's absolutely horrible.
These people who can do this real quick on social media, I mean, I haven't been able to do it. I could ask the staff probably to teach me, but the play would have happened like 2 minutes ago, and they'll already have it on there broken down. We're like, look how wide open A.J. Brown is.
All the time.
And it's like, Hurts didn't even see him.
I know. Wide open in the end zone. I saw it as it was happening. I mean, it's like he's always looking the other way. Doesn't he know the plays? I mean,
Don't they
All he
go over
knows
this?
about is running. That's all he knows how to do is run. I mean, it's effective. I'm glad he's doing it again because it's making them win. But it could be a lot easier. Hurts, just throw the ball. They're open guys. It's not that tough.
Did you see the what Sirianni said this week that on the plane ride to Brazil, since he took over the Eagles, he watched every third down play they had. On his
What?
way there, he watched,
Oh,
he
okay.
watched on film since he took over every third down the Eagles
Wow.
had. And and the one thing he pointed out was there was a lot of Gainwell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still is. Yes, I mean, want to do another prediction. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game out in LA for some reason. I think the Eagles get out to a big lead. I think they get out to like a 21-7 lead. Rams come back, tie it. Eagles go up 28-21. Rams tie it again. And Jake Elliott
There you
proves
go.
Philly Sports Talk wrong as usual with a 49-yard field goal off the post and in.
Well, how about just push it back 1 yard so he gets one over 50 this year? The one thing I didn't say about kickers too, is you look at some of these long kicks, 50, 60 yards, and the ball isn't just crossing over.
All right. It's like rising as it's going through.
No.
It would have been good for 70. I mean, what are we going to see? An 80-yard field goal eventually? I mean, it's just you don't hear much about that though. Like you don't ever hear like, oh, Justin Tucker made this. And speaking of Justin Tucker, he's going down the tubes quick. And you never hear like what they do in practice.
And it was like what happened. I don't remember what happened to Sebastian Janikowski because he was the first guy who kind of ushered this in, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, he ended quickly. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't remember if he was.
Wow, we're running out. Speaking of ending quickly, it's already 8:47.
Amazing.
I did read something before we came on the air. The Phillies added McGable to the 40-man roster. They did that to protect him from the Rule 5 draft, which is something that goes pretty much unnoticed, but they did not protect Griff McGarry. I mean, this guy was expected to be part of the team, and he could easily be picked up by another team now.
Yeah, he could be, and that's understandable. Greatest Rule 5 draft acquisition in Phillies history.
Shane Victorino.
Right? that was always the thing, they got him in the Rule 5, and yeah, exactly.
I don't even know how many rounds are in it.
I don't either. I don't know the specifics of it.
I think it's something like, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but it's something like if the guy's in your minor league system for a minimum of like 3 years or 4 years, you have to either put him on the 40-man roster or anybody can take him. I think it's something to that effect.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that goes back to where they were originally drafted or how that works. I'm not sure. I look up now, and the Cavaliers have cut it to a 5-point game.
The game is ending quickly.
George Niang was just fouled. I forgot about him even being on the team, but
yeah, the minivan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find some information on this Rule 5. Like, it can't be many rounds.
No, I don't think there is.
So it allows clubs without a 40-man roster to select certain non-40-man roster players from other clubs. Why would you not have a 40-man roster? That's your fault, right? What the hell?
Yeah. Anyway.
Not every club will make a selection, but those that do must pay $100,000 to the club from which the said player was selected. Big deal.
It's like $10 to us.
I know.
Well, now that you've mentioned the baseball and the Phillies, are they actually meeting with Juan Soto? Because
I don't know.
What's the point? They're not giving him $600-700 million.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they might.
I saw today that, and I don't know how true this was, but the idea is when they meet with him, Harper, Schwarber, and Turner will be a part of the meeting as well.
Yeah, they all played together in Washington, so they know each other.
I mean,
he also he wants to be a Red Sox. I hear. I mean, it's his favorite team.
Maybe the Rays are going to sneak in underneath because they've been mentioned too, and give him $1 billion. They got to
They
worry
would have
about
to give him.
stadium
They would have
first.
to give him the team.
Well, my thing is, why can't the Phillies give him $1 billion and just defer it?
Yeah, I thought of that too. Like, yeah, that he would have to do it though. Why would he? Why would he agree to that?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like it's something. Well, like you said, the Dodgers could do it and just defer it as well. The
Yeah.
other thing I mentioned,
They might. I'd like to see what the odds are.
yeah,
So,
that's an interesting question. I haven't looked.
yeah.
The other thing I mentioned was the play of Matvei Michkov, so the world famous Flyers minute. Boo! Even though they played well, but they weren't. I mean, they weren't winning with their third string goalie last night against the Avalanche. I mean, it was an okay game, but they came back after being down 2-0. But it's.
I caught the Mitchkov game winner, the side angle shot. It reminded me a
Ottawa?
little. Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the goal that the Blackhawks scored against the Flyers to win the cup. I mean, it just went in from a tough angle.
Yeah,
always, you can't score if you don't shoot. So I mean,
no, true.
you have to throw the puck at the net, and he does that, and he's going to get his share of goals.
And you're looking at a situation where.
What's up, Ralph? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph. His development is hindered because the Flyers they just don't have any good centers. I mean, they just don't.
They don't.
So I don't know.
Are they going to be bad enough to put themselves in a position to get another top player?
Yes.
Are they going to be? Do you think they'll be bad enough? Yeah.
I do.
I mean, it seems like they've been winning games. So, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they won 5 of 6 or got points in 6 of 7 or something,
right.
or something like that. But I think everybody in the NHL goes on that little bit of a stretch every now and then where they can get where they're winning a few games. And now I see them having a chance to get a top 5-6 pick again. I don't know if I'll pick someone who's going to be on the team right away. That seemingly doesn't happen too much.
Right.
Yeah, we are. We're having a good show. It's going by quick.
It always does.
So I don't think I mentioned this last week, but how the Cards going? What's popular now? And
Well, they're right. I could show you real quick if I can somehow take off the background here. Let me see. Right behind me, over my shoulder, is see the table. The show's getting ready to go.
So as soon as we're finished,
as soon as we're done here, I'll be live. Yeah, I mean,
there you go. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Got the day off tomorrow, and yeah, I'm gonna try to move some stuff. Josh Allen's all of a sudden the hot guy. Everybody wants Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson. Anthony Richardson's faded in the from top guy to you can't get $2 for him all of a sudden.
Yeah. Do you have any Jared McCain?
I do. Do I have it? Let's see. Here it is. I literally just got it. It's Jared McCain. It's there's none in the Sixers uniform yet, so anything he gets going to be in the Duke. This is a blue shimmer, it's called, shaped like a bucket there. I don't know if you can see it. It's not going to come through.
Yeah, it's going to be fuzzy a little bit, but
there it goes.
Yeah.
A little bit. It came for a second. There you go.
There it is.
It's numbered to 50. There's only 50 of them.
Cool.
So I'm going to see what I can. I'm going to make it look nice. Put it in a nice holder, and I don't know if I want to move it. Actually,
Yeah.
It might be at its low right now. Just starting to pick up value.
Well, we're coming to the end, and coming up, like we said, we'll see how the Sixers do in their next few games. It's nothing that we're really looking forward to. Sunday night football for the Eagles. I'm not a big fan of Sunday night, Monday night, or Thursday night football. I mean, I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I always like the Sunday afternoon, 1:00. But if it's the big game like it used to be against the Cowboys or the Redskins, it'd get that 4:00 start with John Madden, Pat Summerall. That was always fun. But yeah, we'll have that to talk about next week. I have 2 top 10s this week.
Our favorite time of the week. Here we go.
And one, you've watched the comedy TV show Home Improvement, and I was catching a rerun was catching a rerun the other night, and they brought this topic about. So the first one is not the you'll see from what I said, and then the second one's more fun. But top 10 athletes who died tragically during their career, not after.
During their career.
During their career, and the one guy I have on here, you could argue back and forth. Was it during his career or not? But
okay. Right off the bat, Roberto Clemente comes to mind.
number one.
Yeah.
Number one.
Knowing you're going to have Kelly Lindbergh on the list.
Yes, I am. Number 5.
I
Absolutely.
love how we laugh about it.
I know I shouldn't, but it was just because you said knowing you. Yeah.
About that Dwayne Haskins.
Not on the list.
Remember what he did? It was a strange death. He was
Mhm.
walking around and wandered into traffic, or that was fishy. What happened with him?
Bizarre.
Yeah. All right, let's think here. Wow, it's hard. I mean, I remember the accident with the Cleveland Indians, but they weren't like top flight athletes. I mean, you had Steve Olin and who were those guys? I forget the names. Olin was the one. Oh, I know. Since I said boat accidents, Jose Fernandez.
Yes, absolutely. Number 6.
Yeah. So, trying to think. Obviously, did any happen during the games? No, right?
No.
Oh, I got one. Yeah. Hank Gathers.
Yeah, and that was college. So,
You said athletes.
well, no, during their career, yeah, and that's college, and Hank. That's why I said I have one on here that you could argue the same thing.
Yeah, you're gonna say Len Bias.
Yeah, definitely Len Bias.
Yeah.
I met him
Did you?
a few weeks before. Yeah, every summer at our high school there was a 1-week basketball camp, and him being at Maryland, he
Right.
was.
Oh yeah, you're right there.
And he was the guest, the main one of the main guests that week. Yep.
Where did he go to high school? Is he from Pennsylvania?
Oh boy, I had to look.
I never knew that answer.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it was like when you saw that, it's like, why? I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. I have him on here as number 10, because he didn't get to play for the Celtics, and how they had that kind of a pick is bizarre, but
Yeah, the second overall pick while Larry Bird was there.
yeah, I
How
know.
did that happen? He went to Northwestern High School in Maryland, Hyattsville, Maryland.
Okay.
Let's think here.
Number two, you should get.
What sport?
I thought you'd have. If I give you the sport, it's going to take it away. But NASCAR,
Really? Oh, I did one more.
right? Yeah. I mean, you know what? When I was putting this down, the person who I had at number 2, I had to cross out because that didn't pop into my head right away. And I'm like, what am I doing? Earnhardt. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, we all saw that happen.
It wasn't like he wrecked and got flipped and turned over or whatever. It's just that one safety piece that they needed to add wasn't there for the car.
Well, it was there. He just chose not to wear it.
Correct. That's right. He did. He chose not to wear it.
Three.
Number 3 is a golfer.
Payne Stewart.
Yeah, he was the guy who was on the Home Improvement show. Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, he was on a plane where the plane lost its oxygen, I believe.
Something like that. I mean,
Pressurization.
It was bizarre because he had just he recently had become a father too, so it made it even more of a tragic story. And he always stood out because of what he wore.
Yeah. They are.
And he was
High
really
sock.
good.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Oh,
That's
man.
number 4. And this one you could argue whether it was during his career or not. Baseball. 30s.
Oh, Joe DiMaggio. Oh, Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig. Yeah.
Whether because he retired, but
Right.
was it during his career? Well, he got the disease that he died from.
I mean, he still played. He played his entire career still. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
he had the record for most consecutive games, right?
Yeah, I think so. Mhm. Yeah, the Iron Man. Yep.
Yeah.
Number 7 is an Eagle.
Oh, Reggie White. Jerome Brown.
Brown. Yeah, that was Yeah, I mean, Joe.
I won my Legion baseball championship the night he died.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And you had those two tragic ones in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Number 8 NFL. He was a Cardinal.
Oh, Pat Tillman.
Tillman.
And then you're going to say Sean Taylor.
I could have said him, and I went with Gaines Adams from Tampa, from the Buccaneers.
James Adams.
Yeah, Gaines.
I don't know the name.
Oh, okay.
What year?
I'm going to find that out right now. Wasn't that far? Wasn't that long ago?
Why do I not recall?
Defensive end. He died 2010.
Adams?
Yep. 2010, and he died of a heart attack. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm thinking where he was drafted. If it was here, I know he was a decent draft pick.
Gaines Adams. Yeah. I thought you were saying James Adams.
Oh no, Gaines. Yeah, he was the 4th overall pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember him.
And the thing, and I'm not trying to laugh about it, but his first name stuck out to me with it being Gaines. So you could probably, and then there could be another top 10 of tragic deaths of athletes that took place after, and that starts and ends with Kobe. So
yeah, of course,
as number 1. Then this one's kind of fun to wrap things up, and we'll see what we can do here. Top 10 food combinations.
That's hard.
Can be or maybe not.
What do you mean? Like peanut butter and jelly?
Yes, number 3. Yeah. Once we get the ball rolling, I think it'll be easy.
It's on the list. Wow.
I have your favorite at number 2. Also a top favorite of mine. I just couldn't put it over number 1.
It has to be like and something.
They all are, yeah.
They're called that. I mean, like macaroni and cheese.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how like is it like mashed potatoes and gravy?
Yes, number 7.
Okay.
I knew once we get it rolling. And for someone there in the chat who can help food combinations.
Yeah, I mean, are we doing like on a cheeseburger toppings? Like
no.
No, it has to be its own food.
You could go with the burger and fries. That's number 4. I mean, that's number 5. I'm sorry, it's number 5.
Well, the favorite of the old Bobby Cash is the spaghetti and meatballs.
Yes, sir. Number 6.
Okay.
Spaghetti and meatballs for sure.
Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten number 1 yet.
No.
That could be like hot dogs and sauerkraut or something.
I do like hot dogs and sauerkraut, but hot dogs are on the list. It's just not sauerkraut.
Hot dogs and beans?
Yes.
Baked beans?
Yep. Number 4.
Okay. Chris Amos, number 1. What are you thinking here? Gotta be something it's like cereal and milk or something.
I know. I thought about putting it on the list too. Because milk, I guess milk is a food, technically. People call it. Whenever you watched Family Feud, milk was always there as a food. Let's see.
Pancakes and eggs.
You're close.
Pancakes.
Nope, you had the second part right.
Eggs and bacon?
Yes. Number 1, bacon and eggs.
I go with the other meat.
Sausage.
Yeah.
Or are you a ham guy with eggs as well, or no?
Yeah, I actually like it's like a ham steak. It's like the circular ham.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
With a Canadian bacon, which is essentially a type of, it seems like ham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 8. I don't know.
If I'm gonna have eggs though, it has to be an omelet. I like to like with American cheese, an omelet.
Oh
pretty
yeah.
Good.
Yep.
And ham.
The omelet I made today, I put pepperoni on it.
Okay.
Yeah, with cheddar cheese.
It's funny you mentioned ham. I haven't done this in a long time, but I used to get the lunch meat ham and stick it in the toaster oven. The edges would shrivel up and it would get warm. It was really good. Hot ham.
Did you put cheese on it?
No, just ham.
Just eat. So you're turning the ham into a kind of bacon that way.
Pretty much. It would shrivel. It was really good. The edges would get nice and crispy.
When I was in college, right off campus, and before I had a car actually on campus, you could walk there in about 20 minutes. There was a Hardee's. I ended up working at the Hardee's, and they had a hot ham.
Hardee's near you, don't you? That's the only place I used to go to. Hardee's was out near your way.
Yeah, well, there's one, and it's about 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes towards York, so it's 20 minutes west of here.
I believe it was on Route 30.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the only place I ever had Hardee's because there was none near me. We had Checkers, but not Hardee's.
Yeah, there's one there, and then if you go another 25 miles near Hanover, there's a Hardee's, but there's none like you said, coming this way, you're not going to find one. I don't think.
Right, you're not. Do you remember Roy Rogers? I'm sure you do. You remember they had a sandwich called the Double R Bar.
Oh, I remember it. Of course.
The Double R Burger, not Double R Bar. Double R Burger. Was it bar or burger? Whatever it was. It was a.
I think it was the burger. Yeah.
It was a bar. It was a burger with ham on it.
Yes.
It was good. I used to eat the ham separately, but it was good.
That used to be a Sunday night tradition when I was.
The Double R Bar is from Dairy Queen.
Oh yeah, like the Dilly Bar.
Dilly, was it Double R?
Dilly's from there. I'll have to. I'll check here.
What were the two R's? What did it stand for? Double R.
Roy Rogers.
It was okay.
Yes, double. That's what that stood for. I mean,
duh.
R Burger. I mean, they still have Roy Rogers, don't they, on the Turnpike?
I was going to say that's the only place you'll see them is on the rest stops. And there's a picture of the burger. It still exists today.
Wow, it does. Yeah, because
it looks really good.
When I was it does. I'm hungry now. The salmon and rice didn't fill me up as much as I thought it would from earlier. I used to when I live now in the house that was owned by my grandparents, my mother's parents. So, and I grew up right across the street. And it used to be on Sunday nights there was a Roy Rogers in Lancaster, and we'd all pile into the station wagon. It would be me, my brother and sister, mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa. Yep. Go to Roy Rogers. That just used to be the Sunday night thing. But yeah, I mean Hardee's is still good.
Yeah,
I think. Number 8.
Where else would you get the horseradish in the pump? The little Dixie cup.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like the main place I get horseradish is at Arby's.
Arby's.
But you have to get it in the pack.
They don't have the pump anymore, right? Because ever since
I don't think so.
Everything has to be clean nowadays. We don't know what we were pumping out of there. We don't know what was in there.
I know when you like you'd go to those places and there'd be like 9-10 pumps because you'd have mustard, you'd have the horseradish, you'd have the barbecue,
Arby's sauce.
Yeah, you'd have all those, and then
it's all over the counter.
And those little cups, if you one didn't fill it up, but if you didn't measure right,
it goes over. That used to be my job. I would go right to the pump and start filling up little ketchup.
And the thing now that's really cool, and I think it's at Wendy's. Yeah, the new thing that we probably wouldn't have thought of back when we were growing up is that soda machine now where you can pick like from 100 sodas.
Yeah, the one they have at Wawa.
Oh yeah, they have it there too, don't they? Yep. Mm-hmm. It's when you press and you can pick. It's like
what I get the cherry Coke with a little bit of the lime. It's really good.
Oh, I know. It's like they have like Mellow Yellow. It's like mellow. Then Mellow Yellow comes up, and there's like 9 different Mellow Yellows. You want orange, lime, grape,
so cool.
Like it's just, and like you said, you can mix them together.
Yep. How many are we missing from the list there?
Number 8, Surf and Turf.
Sure.
Yeah. The last 2. Number 9 is popular in England, but it's popular here too. Long John Silver's.
Oh, fish and chips. Fish and chips.
Yep. Fish and chips, which is really good. And then the last one, I threw this in there, and I don't know, pepperoni and pizza. I mean,
Yeah,
It's a topping, but I guess
it's not my topping of choice, but yeah.
You ever
I
have
don't like the way the grease goes off the pepperoni onto the pizza. It just
no? Well, try melting some pepperoni on an omelet. You'll really get the grease. The grease.
yeah, I know.
The one I had on here that when I put the pizza on instead was chicken and waffles.
I almost said that when we were saying the breakfast.
I like it went done right with the right syrup and everything. Yeah, chicken and waffles is really good.
Definitely. How about you didn't say grilled cheese and tomato soup?
That is very good comment. When you want to go soup and a sandwich, that's iconic.
I go grilled cheese and New England clam chowder.
You know what? I have New England clam chowder here. that might be my choice as soon as the show ends.
I'll be having pepper steak and rice when we get done.
Oh, I really like pepper steak.
It's left over from last night. I like it sometimes the night after. It's just as good.
I think I remember once we were talking about it, and I think even Larry chimed in that was one. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people who pepper steak turns them off, and
Really?
they're not big fans of it. No,
It's so good.
I agree. But some people just the peppers aren't.
Onions.
Oh, definitely.
It just gives such a good taste to the steak.
It's like making chili. I can't eat chili. I can, but I would choose not to without onion in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean onion and cheese and the.
How would you like to be tuning in for the first time to Philly Sports Talk? What is this, a culinary show?
Well, let's see. We did go over the state of everything with them.
We always do.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought it up because I had kind of put the Tyson Paul fight out of my mind, and it was one of those things where I did sit here and watch it.
The two fights before it were outstanding. They were battles. There were wars. And the first fight, the Barrios, it wasn't the first one, but the first good one, the Barrios, he fought the champion, or no, he fought the guy that was like 28-6. So the champion at one point was minus 5,000, like in the fourth round. And then he caught him with that punch. The other guy went to minus 175. So if you would have taken him, you could have cashed out for almost full value.
Yeah, you
He
could.
ended up losing.
Wow.
But 50-1.
Did you watch any of the undercard?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh no. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, were you interested in the women?
I watched that whole fight too. That was great.
Yeah,
Serrano and Taylor. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't.
I think Serrano got robbed.
You're not the only one who said that. I didn't see that one. I was waiting for the Tyson one to come on. I don't know. I'm just not into seeing. It's even the same way with wrestling. The women.
It was incredible. They were just laying a punch to the face of each other, nonstop. The action. It was great. I mean,
No, and to me, it's even like I said, even with wrestling, and I mean, I worked as the camera guy for a women's wrestling company for a while, and I don't know. It just women in combat roles like that. I don't know. The appeal hasn't been as high to me as it's been to others. But that's everyone said that fight stole the night.
it did.
Yeah.
It did. The blood. I mean, the faces. They were just bruised and bloody. I mean, it was. She landed 100 more punches. Serrano. I mean, and was it a draw? Was that the draw? No, they gave Taylor the win.
They did. Yeah.
The other fight was a draw. The fight before it was a draw. So I wonder if you bet a match and it's a draw, do you lose both ends, both sides of the?
Yeah, because I think you can bet on.
Bet draw.
Bet on a draw.
Although I didn't see that on FanDuel, I didn't see draw as an option, not live at least.
And that was like the infamous day in Philly sports history where the Phillies lost the World Series, but earlier that day, the Union ended up losing in the championship as well. And I didn't realize on betting on soccer like that, if it went to the
Penalty kick.
went into overtime, then because I don't remember if the option was there or not. Because I know I took LA, and then what happened was it went to overtime, so you didn't win.
It's a tie.
Yeah, it's considered a tie.
That's why I don't bet soccer. I don't understand it.
I yeah. I mean, that'd be the same thing in hockey. You think it's a tie if it goes over.
I don't bet golf either, because you could take a guy to like come in top 10, and he could come in 8th, but there's 15 guys ahead of him. You know what I mean? It's tied with him. So he's not really 8th. They get you.
Oh, I know they probably get you.
Uh-huh.
It looks like Boston's going to win this one. They're up 7 with 35 seconds.
Not surprised. They were a 6-point favorite. I saw it coming.
Yeah, they were. I was surprised. I was surprised to see that I thought it would have been a little less than 6, but
the Cleveland Cavaliers, they could win 65 games, and I wouldn't trust them to win the first round.
Well, unless they played the Sixers. then
they're not going to play the Sixers. The Sixers won't be there.
No, that's a good point. You know, and so I'm looking now, Donovan Mitchell going to the line. He has 29 points. I mean, and he's pretty consistent. I'm just surprised, you know.
He's not a playoff player.
No, that's the thing. He's not. And well, neither is Embiid, really.
I didn't say, yeah, I'm not saying he is. That's what a lot of people do to me on Twitter. I'll be like, yeah, your guy's not a player. LaMelo Ball, for example. Then they throw Embiid back at me. I'm like, I never said Embiid was the king of basketball.
No, it was like we're down in Mitchell, and it's like, well, we have Embiid, but yeah, we'll go over that forever. I mean, yeah, he's just not.
Not at all.
So make sure you check out Bobby with some cards tonight. I'm definitely going to.
I mean, I'm going to be on tonight for a little bit because I don't get the crowd I get in the morning at night. I do good in the morning. I mean, there's a lot less people on there. Like right now, there's probably about 9,000 people on there.
Selling, yeah, everybody on there selling.
No, I mean on there buying. There's about 9,000 people buying, but there's probably about 200-300 sellers. So it's really tough to get an audience. But in the morning, there's only about 1,500 people, but maybe about 10 to 20 sellers. So if you're on there in the morning, what happens is all the people that sell now are buying their cards from me from people like me in the morning. So that's why I do better in the morning. I'll go on now. I'll sit there. I might have 10. If I get 10 people at once, I'll be lucky.
Well, I'll check in to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is, I don't put the cards up for $1 either because I'm not going to get burned.
No, I've seen people do that.
You see them running with $1. If you ever see the guy A.M. Carter 4, he's hilarious to watch. He's a young kid. He uses a Luka rated rookie as his picture. So if you see that, you'll know it's him.
Okay.
He goes on there. He'll run cards at $1. And if they don't go for what he thinks they should go for, he just busts into the chat. You guys he calls them all kinds of words. I can't repeat.
You're robbing me.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you running these cards at this price? You should know what they're worth and this and that. He's just eternal, but it's funny. People go at him, and I watch it for the entertainment value.
Well, I when Aaron was in school out at Duquesne, it's probably still there. There was a really interesting, if you want to call it a comic book shop, it was just upstairs in some guy's house, but he had all these boxes. We got to talking, and the majority of his business, he'd sell stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I have this and I have this, but it's like, it's hard to get what the value is on eBay. And he said the strategy is you put it on for a very low price and then let everyone else bid it up. And my thought is, well, if they don't, then you're in trouble.
Exactly.
I mean, if that's what you just said, if they don't.
I'm not trusting people. I might have the wrong crowd.
Right.
Copacetic Comics.
That's what it is. Copacetic Comics. That's exactly what it's called.
Best player in Duquesne history.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name.
I don't know if he's the best, but he's the only one I know. Derek Alston.
That's it. That's him.
Former Sixer great.
Yeah. Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Former Sixer great, but yeah, we'll have a fun show next week, and we'll talk some more food because Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who's joined us. Thank you, everyone who will listen to us where it is. Get us on social media. Let us know why we're wrong about everything.
Yeah.
That seems to be the theme.
Yep. Great show tonight. Great top tens. We had a good time. Hour and 20 minutes.
Pick one of these food combinations out there if you're hungry, or if you have some pepper steak. There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.